Right, moving on to exercise 1.2. Sometimes it is not only about the totals, it's not about the difference, but in many cases it is also about the unique values or number of values in a specific data range. So for this particular case, we do have a couple of extra functions in spreadsheets that are going to help us to calculate the total numbers, or the number, how many actually number of those values are present in the data range. So what will happen now is that let's count, essentially, if we want to count the total number of the employees which are present here, if I'll select the the range between B5 and B14, and I'll go down here to the bottom of the right corner, I know that the count is equivalent to 10. So, but how do we do this within the formula? And this is important. So we do have also, by the way, very important, if we do the same thing for the numbers, that the column, the data range which contains numbers, you will see now that the bottom right corner has a different view. It has already the functions such as sum, average, min, max, count numbers. So what it means is that the spreadsheet, the Google Sheets, automatically helps you to have this initial assessment, a summary of the data depending on the data type, whether it is a string which contains text or it is actually the numerical value. Therefore, we can have, so to count the total number of employees on the basis of the salary reference, or we can actually rather say how many salaries we have with our employees. So we're going to start by typing the function which is called count, which means when I press equals, I type count, and you can see we have two functions, count and count A. We'll go first through the count, and it says the number of numeric values in dataset. I press OK, and now my values are, we can have different ranges, but for now all we need to do is to select the range that we want. So I'm going to select this range between E5 and E14. I'm going to close the bracket as a good practice, because we can, that's how the functions operate. We close the bracket, press enter, and there you go, 10. Let's do the same thing, but now what if we do count on the number of employee names? Let's do this, and it says 0. Why is 0? It's because count, the function, as per when we go in towards the count value, returns the number of numeric values in the dataset. The names are not considered as numeric values. Therefore, we need to use another function, which is a count A function, which returns the number of values in the dataset. So the main difference is numeric values versus the number of values. And so now, and this is, so remember that count is specifically for numeric values, count A for the values itself, as long as the cell is not empty, which means that we'll select the range with our employee names, close the brackets, and now it's 10. Just to make you aware, if let's say if I'll delete, for some reason we have 10, let's just delete maybe 4 last. What will happen between the, if I'll select the range between B11 and B14, I'll delete this. So you can see we have the total number of employees equals to 6, which means that the count A, that will not count the empty rows, and the same will apply to the count formula as well. If I'll delete the actual salaries and in respective employee's name, you can see that from 10 we went to 6. So I'll go back now twice to make sure we return 10. But this is just to make you aware of what is possible and what count and count A does. Now, for the average salaries, it's one of the most common used and easily arithmetic functions. So we can type average, so AVE. So you can see, but this is the one that we want, numerical average value in the data set, ignoring text. That's the one. And all we need to do right now, average the expected salary. Our total expected salary is the column G. So I'll select this range. I'll close the bracket. There you go. Let's do the same thing for the average. I don't want to have this auto suggestion, so careful with that. So I want to select average here. I want to select the total actuals here. Done. So now what's the difference between them? So it's the same principle that we have done in our previous video in the table on your left hand side. So that's the difference between them. So now all we need to do is actually do the same thing when it comes to the calculating the difference, one method versus another. So all I need to do right now, I can actually select. I will select this particular, the average actuals. I'll divide by the expected, and then -1. There you go. I'll select the percentage, 1.26, or I can do the following very identical approach. I can do the actuals minus the expected, close the brackets, divided by the expected. It will give me once again the average in terms of the percentage. So on the average, we have on the actual salaries, we're going to pay 1.26% more. So this is how easy it is actually to perform basic arithmetic operations and basic actually data analysis with just sum, average, count A, the difference, again, difference, growth, percentage difference methods, and there you go. So I hope you enjoyed it. So give it a go, have a look at the video, and please do yourself with a blank table. And I hope this is clear enough and you like this one. So we'll now move on to the next one.